Hey, what's up? This is going to be a video where I basically go back through each multimeter that I used in the $50 multimeter shootout and then compare the stock probes that come with it versus these really nice ProbeMaster ones, and then see if the continuity test it gets any better. And that'll actually tell us two things. One, it'll tell us if the continuity tester on the multimeter is actually good or bad, because if it comes with crappy probes, it could make the continuity tester appear to be bad, and we wouldn't know without using a good set of probes like this. The second thing it tells us is that if we see a big improvement between the stock probes versus these, it also tells us that the stock probes suck, and in some cases could give you bad readings, especially if you're doing resistance type of stuff where you need a really solid connection. So I figured this would be worth doing an entire video over. I'm going to try to just make this quick. I'm going to just set one up, do continuity test with the stock probes, then with these probes, and then if there's any significant difference, I'll call it out, and then we'll go to the next one, and hopefully this video won't be too terribly long. Right, got the uni-t UT61E. These are the stock probes. Not very good. Now we have the uni-t UT61E with the ProbeMaster probes. Excellent. So stock probes suck. Continuity tester, excellent. Alright, next up is the RadioShack 46 range true RMS multimeter. These are the stock probes. So it seems okay-ish, but when I did it really quickly, it didn't always catch it. So let's see how the ProbeMaster probes do. Okay, RadioShack with the ProbeMaster probes. So it latches a little longer, which makes it sound like it's just one long continuous beep. But yeah, it's super quick. So stock probes are better than the uni-t one, but they're not the greatest. And continuity test is actually excellent on this one. Alright, continuity test on the Ampprobe AM530 with the stock probes. And Amprobes are known for being pretty terrible. I have 3 Ampprobe multimeters and all 3 suck. The meters don't suck. The continuity test on each Ampprobe that I have sucks. So yeah, extremely slow, but it's not scratchy at all. So not only does it latch, but I think these might not be that bad. But let's find out. Okay, Ampprobe AM530 with ProbeMaster probes. So still incredibly slow. So basically the Ampprobe stock probes, for all we know, are decent because it wasn't intermittent at all, but the continuity test still sucks. Okay, got the Klein Tools MM2000 with the tiny little stock probes. So it's kind of scratchy and intermittent, and it seems pretty slow. Let's put the ProbeMasters on and see if it makes any difference. Okay, now we have the Klein with the ProbeMaster probes. So it's not as quick as the uni-t UT61E was once I put these probes on it, but as you can see, it is a huge difference, and I would say this is an above average. I'd say it's a pretty damn good continuity tester. And the stock probes kind of suck a little bit. They're not horrendous, but they could definitely improve with a good set of ProbeMasters, or not necessarily. I'm not like a salesperson for ProbeMaster or anything. They're just really cheap and really good for the price. They were what, $16 plus shipping. So yeah, it doesn't matter what aftermarket probes you get, as long as they're good ones. This could benefit from it. But yeah, the stock probe's not great, and the continuity test on this is much better than we originally thought, because with the crappy probes, it's hard to tell. Okay, we got the continuity test on the little baby Fluke 107, and these are the stock probes it comes with. Now, being a Fluke, something tells me that the stock probes are probably pretty decent, but we'll find out. So when I do it really quickly, it misses sometimes, but for the most part, it's actually pretty quick. So I'm not actually sure if we'll see any improvement with the ProbeMasters, but you never know. Okay, baby Fluke 107 with ProbeMaster probes. So yeah, the it not latching some of the times doesn't have to do with the probes. It's actually just the speed of the continuity tester on here. So the continuity tester, decent. See, if I go slowly, it nails it almost every time. Not every time, but pretty close. So continuity tester is not the quickest of the bunch, but it's good enough. It's not crappy enough for me to complain about. I'd say it's a little above average, and yeah, pretty much no difference between these and the stock probes as far as the continuity tester goes. That's not saying that the stock probes are this good. I think these are probably still better. Okay, now we're doing the continuity test with the BK Precision 2705B with the stock probes that it comes with. So it seems like it's actually the continuity test on the BK is just slow, but you never know. Okay, BK Precision with the ProbeMaster probes. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm just intentionally hating on this. It might seem like it if you watch the Shootout, but I'm not. I mean, the things I'm complaining about are legitimate things to complain about. It was one of the most expensive ones other than the Fluke, but the Fluke was a wild card. It was intentionally expensive. It was one of the most expensive ones of the bunch, if I remember correctly, or it definitely wasn't a cheap one. No true RMS. There's only one of like two that didn't have true RMS, if you're not counting the wild cards. What else is it missing? Oh, it can't do capacitance measurement. The whole thing was freaking creaking like crazy. Just cheap construction, and the continuity test is not that great. So I don't know. I just feel like you could get a better meter for your money in this price range, but. Like I said, you saw it. Even with the good probes, continuity test on this one still sucks. Alright, it's time to do the continuity test with the stock probes on the Peak HP760H pile of crap. So it's catching it about half the time when I do it quickly. And for all we know, that could actually be the probes, so this one might see an improvement, but I really have no idea, so we're about to find out. I don't know why I'm testing this one, because I honestly couldn't recommend this. So, Peak, piece of crap with ProbeMaster probes. Here we go. Okay, yeah, so continuity test on this one, if for some weird reason you were given one of these, because I don't recommend buying this one, continuity test on it's actually really good. But the stock probes suck enough that putting these on here made a pretty big improvement, as you saw. So continuity test good, stock probes suck. Okay, we got the continuity test on the Tech Power TP2844R, and there's also a Digitech multimeter that basically looks identical to this, so I would assume it's basically the same thing. I don't think the ProbeMasters will make much difference on this one, because it actually comes with gold-plated probes, which is unusual for a meter in this price range. I think it was $40 or something like that. So let's see how the stock probes do. Yeah, and so being gold-plated and it's still kind of sucking and being kind of slow, I have a feeling that it's actually just the continuity tester on this is not the greatest. Okay, got the Tech Power, got the aftermarket ProbeMaster probes. Let's see if it makes a difference. Nope, no difference. It's just a slow continuity tester, so really, in a case like this, it's kind of hard to tell if the stock probes really suck or not. But due to the fact that these are actually gold-plated, I would say the stock probes on this are actually fine. Not safety-wise, that I don't know. But just as far as getting a good clean connection, I would say that the probes are fine. Continuity test on this is just a little on the slow side. Okay, now it's time to test a continuity test with stock probes on the Southwire 12070T. So it's really intermittent, like it's not getting a good clean connection. So we might get a little bit of improvement using the probemasters, but it's a little on the slow end, but you never know. Remember the uni-t UT61E with the stock probes seemed horrendous, and then I put the probemasters on and it was like it was a completely different multimeter. You never know. This one I think will have at least a little bit of an improvement, but how much, we will find out. Okay, so Southwire with ProBemaster probes. So it's still not the fastest of the bunch, not like the UT61E or the whole Peak, or there's one other that was really fast. I don't remember which one it was, but yeah, the probes make a huge difference on this one. So, yep, I would say that if you get the Southwire, it could definitely benefit from a $16 set of ProBemaster probes, or whatever brand that suits your fancy, if you aren't able to get these or you think there's some better ones out there for your money. But I'm here to tell you that you probably won't find any for this price. But yeah, continuity tester on this is pretty damn good. Not the fastest, but it's well above average. And stock probes obviously suck, because if they didn't suck, there wouldn't have been that big of a difference between the ProBemasters and the stock probes. Okay, time to test the uni-t UT61D. Now, it looks identical to the E model, but the insides are actually quite a bit different. So, the continuity test not necessarily going to be the same, because I think it does have a different multimeter ASIC in there than the E model. So, who knows? Let's find out. These are the stock probes. Horrendous. Now, it seems like it's getting a good clean connection. There's just a big delay. Something tells me it's not the probes in this. Well, it could. We do know the probes suck. They're the identical probes to the E model, so the probes do suck. But I think the meter might be a lot to do with why it sucked. But you never know. So ProBemasters on the uni-t UT61D. Let's find out. Yeah. So the D model continuity test just sucks compared to the E model. So yeah, I didn't really see too much of a difference between this and the stock probes, but we do know for a fact though from testing it on the E model that the stock probes completely blow. So yeah, continuity test on this one just isn't great, but it could still benefit from a good set of aftermarket probes. Okay, it's time to test a continuity test with stock probes on the UTLMD2 or UEI. So going slowly, most hit, and it's pretty decent. If I go quickly, about half of them register. So I honestly have no idea what this one's going to do with the good probes. But we're about to find out. Here we go, the UEI with the good aftermarket probes. That's awesome. So we're getting tons of results. This is another one where continuity tester on it is actually very good. Yeah, I mean, it's hitting every single one no matter how fast I go. It latches and then it continues to be latched for, it takes a second for it to decay back and reset. So it sounds like it's just a continuous beat, but when I go really quickly, I mean, it catches every single one. So this one is a very good continuity test. The stock probes just suck. Okay, it's time to test a continuity tester on the XTech IX 430, and these are the stock probes. So I have a feeling this will benefit greatly from the probes, from the aftermarket probes, because almost every hit you could hear a tiny little chirp because this one isn't latched. But if we put on some good aftermarket ones, so XTech IX 430 with ProBemasters. Yeah, excellent, definitely above average. Still seemed like it wasn't quite as quick as some of the others. Something I need to think about too, though, doing all these tests, maybe I'll have to just buy another set. Gold is a really soft metal, and so I could be wearing it off by doing this, but oh well, it's for science. So yeah, above average continuity tester, but with the stock probes, which, as you saw, sucked. You would never know. You would assume the continuity test just sucks on here, but it's actually pretty good. It's just the stock probes are holding it back. I'll tell you what, this range switch just really does just give me the heebie-jeebies. It is horrible. So anyway, circuit test DMR 6550 stock probes continuity test. So this one might be hopeless even with the aftermarket probes because it sounded like it got a good clean connection. It was just huge delay. But you never know. I'll stand to be corrected. Okay, circuit test with the ProbeMaster aftermarket probes. Yeah, so can't tried to help it out with some aftermarket probes, but continuity test on this one just blows. What a crappy meter. Don't know why I even tried this one, but I guess I forgot. The continuity test on this one just doesn't work. I have no idea what the hell's wrong with this piece of crap. They're not even... Yeah, I have no idea what the hell's wrong with this thing, but don't buy this meter. Tech Power TB40, it's a pile of crap. Okay, got the Innov, which is completely just worthless for doing electronics work, but I included it just because why not? Stock probes, these tiny little Barbie doll sized probes, but here we go. It's kind of intermittent, so I think this one might benefit a little bit from aftermarket probes, but about to find out. I don't know why I bothered with getting the right polarity considering we're just testing continuity, but here we go. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's doing better than with the stock probes because it's not being intermittent. But it's still slow, so continuity test on this one just isn't that quick. But it's not by any means as bad as the Ampprobe. There's not a very big delay because you can see it hit, you can see it and hear it hit, and then very quickly after it starts to beep. It's just slow enough though that if I do the really quick, that stuff it doesn't go. But not terrible, but definitely could benefit from these probes. But you shouldn't buy this unless you're not doing electronics work and you're just testing car batteries or something. Because really, it's just not that great of a meter. I think people just search Amazon, and being one of the cheapest meters that had decent reviews, it just climbed to the top because it was kind of the go-to multimeter for people to buy. Okay, and just for the sake of, there's someone on the EEV blog forums under the test equipment section. He posted, I can't remember if was it the guy that posted the thread. Someone started the thread and linked to my $50 multimeter shootout videos and said, hey guys, check this out. And then I don't know if it was him that posted it or if it was someone else, but someone was kind of interested in this multimeter. And it's obviously made by uni-t. Well, I mean, it's a Voltcraft brand, but uni-t is the OEM that makes this for them, obviously, because it looks very similar to the other uni-t models. So it comes with basically, I mean, it says Voltcraft on them, but I mean, if you look at them, they're basically just the crap uni-t probes. They're not that great. And so he wanted to know if, and actually it's funny because someone else, and it could even be this guy, I don't know, suggested I get a nice set of ProbeMasters to go with the nice multimeter, because I really do like this multimeter. I think it's a pretty great multimeter, and the specs are just awesome for the money. So, and also it's a good multimeter for people who aren't in the States, because the Flukes and Agilents, by the time you export them and pay VAT and all kinds of stuff, end up being really expensive. And you can get this in Europe so for probably like half the price. So it's actually a pretty decent multimeter, and I like the OLED display. A lot of people are afraid of those not lasting long, but I've had some other stuff with OLED screens, and I haven't had too many problems with them. Now, I know the color ones on cell phones start getting burn-in and all kinds of problems, but I haven't seen any problems on this or my Agilent. I've had my Agilent for quite a while. No problems yet, but if I have any problems with any of them, I will post a video about it. But anyway, he said, sounds like a great meter, stock probes probably suck, so you should just pick a set of ProbeMasters up. Because in the review of this multimeter, I mentioned that I didn't like the stock probes. They're probably the only major thing I could complain about with the meter, and it's true. So I ordered these, and while doing the $50 multimeter shootout, I noticed that continuity test seemed to suck on almost all the meters, and I thought that was a little unusual. I thought surely most of them would be decent. And so I just grabbed a random meter, and it happened to be one of the ones that had the greatest benefit from it. It was the UT61E uni-t. Hooked these up, and the difference was just incredible. It blew my mind. I didn't even consider the fact that the stock probes might suck so bad that they're not getting a good clean connection for doing a continuity test, and that's exactly what happened, and that's what prompted me to do this video right here, where we went back and tested all of them with a good set of probes like these ProbeMasters. So I thought, since this is the whole reason why I bought these, I'll kill two birds with one stone. He wanted me to test these probes on this multimeter, so why make a separate video for it? I'll just throw it into the end of this video. So it's already turned on. It's in continuity mode, so let's see how it does with the stock probes, just to show you. These are the ones that comes with. It says Voltcraft. Here we go. So I do it really quickly, and it's catching it maybe 1 out of 5 hits or something like that, so not very good. Okay, now we have the same meter, and we have the ProbeMasters hooked up, which are actually going to be the leads that I leave hooked up to this guy. So these will be the leads for this once I'm done with this video. So here we go. Excellent. Tells me though that this I didn't actually look. I'll have to pull up the video and see if I have a clear enough shot of the ASIC in here. I think it's the same ASIC that's in the 61E. Maybe it just has better supporting hardware, like a better quality precision resistor network and stuff like that, to give it the better specs. So it could be the same ASIC, or just with better supporting hardware. And if that's the case, that's why the continuity tester is so good on this one, and especially with the good probes, because it seems like a weird coincidence that this one and the UT61E both happen to respond very well to having a good set of probes attached to them. But yeah, for whoever that was in the forum, I'm sorry. I have the worst memory, and yeah, I'm sure I'll smack myself in the forehead when I get back on the forums and see your name. But there you go. ProbeMasters make the continuity test on this one excellent, among the best I've ever seen. I mean, it doesn't really get much quicker than this. So there you go, folks. $16. Well, if you live in the States, outside the States, it might cost you a little more, but surely even with export, import, all that kind of crap, even if you ship it across the planet, I'm sure that you would have a hard time finding better probes than these for that kind of money. So yeah, if you have a multimeter and the continuity test isn't that great, there's a chance that 16 bucks will fix it. Hope the video is helpful to someone. See you in the next video. Bye.